Well, the Oilers lose 3-0 to the New York Rangers. And I was angry after last game. I was frustrated. I was bent out of shape, whatever you want to say. But tonight, to be quite honest with you, I'm a sad squirrel. And honestly, I think after starting 1-5-1 on the year, we're all a little bit squirrely. The fact that the Oilers are now on a 4-game losing streak and have yet to muster more than 3 points through 7 games is a little bit nuts. Cue the comedy because, yeah, you know what? When the Oilers got to losing back in the decade of darkness, Gene Principe brought out the puns. Gene Principe brought out the fun to try and make it stomachable for us to watch our Edmonton Oilers play hockey. And like I said right off the top, tonight, I could be angry. I could be a lot of things. After watching a 3-0 home ice loss in which the Edmonton Oilers, for the last 5 minutes of the third period, get booed by the home fans, guess what? I am literally just, as I said, a sad squirrel. And I'm doing this for the comedy of it because, quite honestly, there's nothing left at this point. I mean, yeah, you know what? The Oilers will probably turn it around. I haven't given up hope on this team. The Oilers will probably go on an amazing second half run, get into the playoffs, and make some noise and do a little bit of something something. But to be honest with you at this point, friends, this team is finished. And I don't mean they're not making the playoffs. I don't mean they're not going to do well in the playoffs when they get there. I mean this team as it stands, the team that has been iced the past 2 games, the first 7 games of the season, this team will not and cannot achieve results throughout an entire NHL campaign. In fact, through 10 games, the most games they could possibly win is 4. And that seems highly unlikely given they've only won 1 out of the first 7. So when you look at this from an Oilers fan perspective, and you say, you know what, yeah, Tyson, I can see you're dressed up in a squirrel costume to try and at least alleviate the losing, but you're right. This team is finished. And we heard talk over the past 2 days about a potential send down, a call up from Bakersfield, change the mix, get in there. But what I point my attention to tonight is, number one, how many more losses is it going to take for there to be a serious conversation about Jay Woodcroft losing his job? I know the people that don't like him, haven't liked his playoff performance, have already been out to get him after the 8-1 loss against Vancouver. That's fair. You do you. I defended him after, game 3 or 4? Fine. Good on me. That's great. But now I'm at that point. Something's got to change. Is it Jay? I still don't think so because there's a lot about the players. There's a lot about the mix that I don't like and obviously isn't working. Stuart Skinner tonight stands on his head, but it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You get dropped 3-0 by Jonathan Quick, who's magically playing with the New York Rangers in the year 2023, looking like it's the year 2012 in a Los Angeles Kings uniform. Now, secondary to that, friends, you look at it, Jeff Jackson was brought into this mix, right? CEO of hockey operations, whatever the heck his title is. Guess what? The reason I don't even remember what his title of hockey, whatever the heck is now, because he was brought in here to stop this dead in its tracks. We're on a 4-game losing streak. We've lost 6 out of the first 7 games of the season. And last year, in a time when Ken Holland would have been sitting on his hands doing nothing, as he tends to do and is doing right now, Jeff Jackson was brought aboard with the promise that he would institute change sooner than Holland wants to. Well, we're 7 games in. We're 1-5-1. I pushed the panic button after the loss of the Wild. The Oilers, they were lifeless tonight. Yeah, they had flashes, but guess what? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut twice. So when it comes down to it, you got to look. Jeff Jackson, what is he doing to change the results compared to what happened last year when we sucked? Well, nothing. What's Ken Holland doing to change the results? Nothing. Do you fire him? I don't know. At this point, I don't even know what to do. I couldn't tell you. I might literally simply go stand outside and freeze my you-know-what's off. Hey, outside just to maybe feel something tonight, right? Because that Oilers game, like I said, I'm sad. I'm not angry. I'm literally confused. I think the stages of dealing with grief or loss or whatever, there's a whole chart to dealing with some kind of emotion, and I'm on whatever scale of Like, it just doesn't even make sense anymore. But to be honest with you, like I said, go stand outside and freeze my you know what's off. And guess what? Maybe tonight I'll actually feel something that isn't nothing. Because to be honest with you, yeah, I'm baffled. I'm confused. I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. And this Oilers team is giving me no reason for hope. And as it currently stands, this Oilers team is finished. Yes, a trade, a call-up, a send-down changes the mix. Let's have a conversation after that. But at current, there is nothing to gain, nothing to win from throwing out this mix of players. Connor McDavid, even, what did he change in those games that he played so far this season? Nothing. We're still here, even with him in the lineup. So, at the end of the day, there is nothing to be gained with this group of guys. Maybe the management, maybe the coaching staff, I don't know. Point your fingers accordingly, and maybe this group won't be finished long term. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm up on out of here. If you're as disappointed as me, I mean, I didn't ask last video, but if you could possibly hit that subscribe button to stay around and find out how this story ends, that'd be greatly appreciated. Maybe a little consolation prize to another lackluster night of wasting 3 hours watching my hockey team play the game.